lot of athletes struggle from making the jump from being an athlete to a quote-unquote regular citizen because of lack of knowledge.
Walk-ons, what's going on? It's Sam Stillwell, the walk-on coach. And today, man, I wanted to talk to y'all about what you can do after the sport is over, and specifically what you can do after football. This is an important topic because, man, a lot of times after the game is over, whether it's because of injury, whether it's because of retirement, or whether it's because you just decide to step away, it's like, dang, man, I put in all this work. I put in 10 years of focusing on football, studying film, improving my body, improving my athletic ability for football. Now, where does all that work go? A lot of times when we do something for so long, when we focus on football for so long, we tie our worth to that thing. And when it's all over, it just feels like you gotta find yourself all over again. Where does your worth come from? All the hard work you put in, where does it go? Does it just go to waste? How can I feel like I don't have to start all over again? How can I feel like I'm worthy? How can I feel like there are other opportunities out there for me? And I'm speaking on all this from experience. When I felt that football was coming to an end, I mean, even before I officially stopped playing football in college, when I felt it in my heart that it was coming to an end, that's when it started to go downhill. When I say downhill, I mean downhill mentally. I started losing confidence because, once again, I tie my worth to football for, majority of my worth, because that's what I put my all into. Well, I'm here to tell you, in a way, you do have to start all over. And I know that sounds bad, but another thing I'm here to tell you is that starting all over is not a bad thing. It actually can be the funnest part of your life. But hold up just 1 second before we get started. I need to see if I can hear something real quick. You know when you hit the subscribe button, the sound it makes? I was trying to see if I can hear that sound. Oh, and then the sound when you hit the like button too. If you haven't liked or subscribed to the video, please go ahead and do that. When I quit my college football team, the very next thing I looked for, because I knew I loved the game, was I said, okay, I'm going to see if there's a club football team, a club flag football team that I can play for. I knew I had friends that were into different things, and here and there they would whisper little things in my ear that I wouldn't really pay attention to because I was so focused on football. But when it came time to quit, I started to remember some of those things they might have gave me a sneak tip on. Things like reading financial books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, How to Win Friends and Influence People, starting businesses. So these are things that I started to look into once I quit. And I also had a dope academic background. Architectural engineering was my major, and I did put effort into that as well. And I knew that was one of my passions. Architecture was one of my passions. So that's why I chose that. And I tell y'all all the time, please pick a major that is lucrative and that you can actually get into, because you always want to have that. You do not want to just pick an easy major that you can just scrape by so you can just worry about football all the time. I beg you, please don't do that. Let me tell you something about yourself that you might not even realize right now. Some people never put their all into anything in life. They don't even know how to do that yet. But you already know how to do that. You know how to get better every day at something. You already mastered that in a way you don't even know it. So you starting on something new, it could be a beautiful thing if you apply that same effort to it. Other people, they can't do it like you can because they're not used to that daily grind. They gotta build up to that. They can do it, but you already have that work ethic that you can just roll into the next thing. Another thing I did, because football ended in a way that was hurtful for me, I figured out a way to use my football experience, all the struggle I went through in football, all the pain, everything I went through, I figured out a way that I can still take advantage of that experience. And guess what that is? What I'm doing right now, sharing the information with y'all. So maybe the first step is really to take a back seat. Take a week or 2 weeks and figure out where your motivations come from. What are you truly passionate about? I know I like to help people. Yeah, and I hope y'all can tell through my videos that I like to help y'all and do whatever I can for y'all. So what's that for you? What gives you that joy? And then once you figure out what those passions are, then we can dive into what vehicles you want to use to enjoy those passions and reach those goals. But once you figure out what your motivations and passions are, then we get into the fun part. This is the part where you start going out and trying different things. You go to meetups, read books, financial literacy books, you know, different discovery books. You might be a person who loves history. You might want to read some history books, audio books, and podcasts. I love podcasts, and for busy people, podcasts are dope because you can listen to it while you're doing other things, while you're driving. Also, you're an athlete. You're an all-around athlete. You like to be active. So let's try some different sports. Let's try some different active activities such as skiing, go skating. Just do some crazy stuff, man. Just have fun with it. And during this whole process is to help you figure out, what do I want to focus on next? You know what? I am so excited for y'all because man, this discovery period in your life is so fun. I actually wish I could go back to mine. I'm kind of still in mine, but I've pretty much picked several things to focus on, so I've been working on that. But by far, the funnest part is that discovery period where you're just trying different things. Quick review. Number one is to take some time and figure out what your real passions and motivations are. Think about what motivated you to play football? What motivated you to go so hard in the sport that you played in the first place? Number two, once you figure out your motivations, now you can pick out, oh, let me see if real estate can also get me there. Let me see if stocks. Let me see if I like skiing. Let me see if I like basketball. Go out and try as many things as you can. And to quantify it, I would say within the next 2 or 3 months, try 5 different things. Try skating, try reading, listen to a podcast, several different podcasts, and then the other 2 just freestyle with it, just have fun with it. Just a quick side note, anything you try, just make it a healthy habit because, you know, we trying to get to joy, positive things, and, you know, any negative habits, they're not gonna bring you what you're looking for, so. And lastly, once you do your discovery and all that, you're gonna pick 2 things, 1 or 2 things to focus on, because now you're gonna have to master those things to actually progress further. And once you master those 1 or 2 things, then guess what? You can move on to the next thing, master that, master the next thing, master that. And all this can be a fun experience. And that's what I would recommend to do after sports, after football. This is what we gotta do. If you're anywhere in this journey, go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know where you're at. And shoot, man, we could talk about it, you know, figure out some things that you might be interested in, some things that might be good for you to try. So just let me know. You know, you can always find me on Instagram at @ToBeGreat. That's at @TOBE_great. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all take this information, y'all apply it, and y'all be great.